Today on the channel, we head back to the land of the dice rollers and rock and rollers with Warduke NECA Ultimate Edition Dungeons and Dragons.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today, for the brand new Dungeons and Dragons line, we've got Warduke. But for all your Warduke and NECA needs, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. And of course, everything over $39 does ship free. And we return to the land of the Dungeons and Dragons, which I know absolutely nothing about. And I take that back a little bit because one of my favorite bands, it's a deep cut band, Eric Harris and the boys in Gygax, one of my favorite bands that are going right now. It's been a while. They've been a little quiet. Hopefully they haven't broken up. But I love their stuff. But their band Gygax, named after Gary Gygax, who I believe was the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons. And they have some songs about Dungeons and Dragons. So I guess I know that, but I know nothing about the Dungeons and Dragons games, toy lines, cartoon series, anything like that. Maybe one day. Of course, I do see the Hasbro toys out there on the Target shelves right now, peg warming like peg warmers do. Not sure what's going to happen with those guys. I've heard a lot of quality issues on those as well. I'm not familiar with any of those characters, but I've been a little tempted here and there. But if I do pick up any of those, I'm going to wait until they go to the deep clearance. I think that's going to be the way to go with the Hasbro Dungeons & Dragons. But these guys I had to jump on. These guys look very heavy metal, very menacing, very just dark and evil is what these look like. And I fought it for a while, finally gave in at my local toy store, picked these up, and even better, this Warduke has a little rip on the packaging here, so they knocked $5 off the price point. At that point, you got to get a deal. I couldn't refuse. I don't care about the packaging on these. I'm opening it up. I'm throwing the packaging away. So save $5, man. Sign me up all day long and twice on Sunday, as we always say. And another thing we always say is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about them. We're going to unbox them. We're going to talk about them. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's look at Warduke. Very interesting name, Warduke, but very cool there. Love that flaming sword. That thing looks awesome there. Warduke looking really good. Of course, Warduke on the side right there, Dungeons and Dragons. That Dungeons and Dragons font and logo looks very heavy metal. It just really does. Looks very cool. Like that, Dungeons and Dragons on the side. And like I said, don't know anything about the character, but I know a cool figure when I see one. And on the back there, you got some glamour shots. And then, of course, you got a little cross-sell. Grim Sword. Make sure you check out the unboxing of him on the channel as well. And then we got a blurb here for Warduke. Let's see what it says about the old Warduke. Warduke fights as a remorseless, cold-hearted mercenary who works for coin. Oh, coins. Love them. The evil swordsman serves Kelek as a cohort and adventuring companion from time to time. He wields a flame-tongue longsword and wears a dread helm. He never removes his helmet to reveal his face to others, like a young Mandalorian. But the visage beneath it is that of a grim, hideously scarred gladiator. It includes long sword with removable flame effect, short sword, dagger, skull shield, and interchangeable hands. I assume he is a bad guy. Evil action figures right up here, like a young Danhausen going on. Looking really good. And then there's the typical in NECA fashion, little action there. Very cool. I have heard from some that he does belong on a horse, so I guess maybe you could use a McFarlane horse, Four Horsemen horse, a Barbie horse. I'm sure choose your own horse adventure, what you really want to use with him. How's the background on this look? Ooh, very dungeon-esque, scary background right there. Very cool, but we're off to the races. We're done. See you later up high. Goodbye. And then plastic prison time. Twist ties aplenty. You're going to have to get the scissors and all work out here. But looking really cool. The old Warduke. Very interesting. I don't know anything about Warduke. It's interesting. So Hasbro is making these figures, as we do know. If I can get this shield out. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. Are they going to make Warduke? Is there kind of a rule between NECA and them that NECA's making some figures and Hasbro's going to make others? Hasbro making them on the cartoon, these based on the board game. I'm not exactly sure everything about it. Like I said, I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even understand the concept of an 8-sided dice. Isn't that what they play with? 8-sided dice? It seems really strange to me. I don't know why you need 8 sides. Why don't you just roll multiple times? I don't know anything about it, so my ignorance is shining through on the Dungeons and Dragons. It's a very interesting thing. That is for sure, like I've always said. Knock some of this out. There we go. And can I get the sword? There we go. See you later. Oh, off the screen. And we're about there. Oh, we got one more lock in. He's locked in the arm, of course. Of course, that pesky arm he's locked in there. Let's see. Can I get in there? There it is. All right, now we should be good. We should be off to the proverbial races here. And there it is. Twist ties everywhere. Up high. See you later. Up high. There it goes. Twist ties off to the side. All little plastic. See you later. Goodbye. I got a mess to clean up today. You wouldn't believe. You would not believe. But let's look at these extra accessories we get with him here. All kinds of different stuff. We do get extra hands. So we do get a human hand and like a chain armor robot hand, whatever you want to call it there. We get pointing finger. Everybody loves the old Hulk Hogan, what you gonna do, brother hand. We got that going on right here. Or you can pick his nose. You can scratch his head. Choose your own adventure with the pointer finger hand. And we do get a gripping hand. And we got a gripping hand over there. I have to assume... No, it's very similar. That's kind of strange. It's the exact same hand twice. I thought it had maybe a different joint on it. One was vertical, one was horizontal, but it's the same thing twice. Did everybody get that? That's very strange. And then we do get the mechanical hand here with the glove on it. Nice silver look to it. Looks very menacing for sure. It looks very heavy. It looks like he's got a heavy, heavy glove on right there. We get down to a few other things. He's got a big old shield here. Very Dungeons and Dragon-esque, I guess. It makes sense that this would be kind of medieval-like, but a big, heavy silver shield. Nice gray darkness to it. Got the skull on there. Just means business with a shield like that. Then we get a couple of different daggers going on here. We got a short sword. Nice silver with a dark wash. It's seen some things. It's seen some battle. It's got a little red jewel in there. Some blue and gold. Looking really nice. And then we do get another dagger type thing here. It's got a little hook on the end for extra danger. Got a nice sculpt in it there of blue. Then once again a dirty sword color of the gray. It's a sword that's seen some things, a dagger that's seen some things. And we do get his big old sword here, looking really nice. Once again, a nice pointy sword. Looking good with the gold on it, the red jewel kind of in the middle, the gold on the bottom of the handle, and then the leather wrapping in brown. Just looks like your classic medieval knight type sword. Looks really nice. And then the flame effect, man, I'm here for that as well. That sends extra darkness into everybody's reality. But this sword, I think, probably just got to get it right. I don't know, but it does supposedly go up through here. I don't know. I don't want to force it in too much and break anything, but I guess it does. You just got to force it a little bit, I guess, but it does go up through in there. Got a nice flaming sword. I'm all for a flaming sword. Just extra. Cuts like a knife through butter when it's flaming sword, so that does look really, really nice as well. So good accessories here on old Warduke. I mean, he almost looks like a half man, half robot, half medieval warrior. Definitely has some darkness to him. And much like Grimsword, we talked about that Grimsword in that review, check it out. But the joints feel really good on these NECA figures as late. He moves around very, very well. Very tight joints, but not loose, but not fragile. So I really, really do like how these are feeling. Big, big helmeted head here. Of course, he doesn't remove the mask, as he said. He's got that red jewel like we saw in some of the swords over here. He's got that in the forearm. Got the big bat-like ears on there. Very sharp, prickly points throughout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, 6 points on the mask on each side. So it's 12 points of poking your eye out, kid, right there. He's got shiny, shiny, sharp. Ow, geez, sharp on the side on his holster around his shoulder on that side, the more mechanical side, of course. Then you got that beautiful chainmail. We're used to seeing chainmail in a silver color. It's a nice blue here with a nice dirty kind of wash to it. Down to the very mechanical knight's armor arm here. I don't understand. I mean, he must have been in some wars, got hurt on this side. Who knows? I'm sure there's a reason for it. But it does look really, really nice. Of course, he has a loincloth on. He must have had a trip through Eternia a time or two. Picked up one of those along the way. We do got a spot on both sides to hold his swords and dagger. I really like this one that has the chain off his belt buckle. Looks really, really good. The blue and gold really, really do pop. He's even got a little bag on the back here. It's his Merce, I think, back in the day. He's got one of those. Maybe it's a satchel. Who knows? Then you also, of course, got a spot for his big sword back here. So everything can be stored on him. I always like that it works really good. You got that same kind of skull going on right there in the belt. Once again, a very He-Man and the Masters Universe style belt on this as well. Chainmail going down one leg, regular skin down the other. You got some spikes on this shin right here, and then you got just a boot cover over here. One black boot there, one black boot there. looking really, really good. Armor, or the articulation here on him, the arms do go all the way around. You do get a bicep cut. A little bit of butterfly action, but a little bit of limitation here with some of that. You do get single jointed elbows. You do get the side to side at the elbow. Hands removable side to side at the hands. Head, of course, side to side, a little bit limited, not really limited. Actually, he gets a lot more movement out of this head than I thought he was going to get for sure. That does look really, really good. He's got a little hula hoop there, not a whole lot for waist. You do get a little bit of Warduke splits out of him. He can do a little bit of the splits action. Side to side at the knee, single jointed knees as well. No boot cut, and then you do get ankles, no articulation at the toes. But man, he does look good. He does look menacing. He does look big, bad, and nationwide. He also fits on a Ringside Collectible stand. Yes, he does. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Of course, over at Ringside Collectibles, make sure you get the Mattel stand. A lot of people making mistakes buying Jazzware stands. You got to get the Mattel ones there. But Warduke fits really nice. Definitely looks like he belongs to the Masters of the Universe, Mythic Legions, things like that. Like I said, I know nothing about Dungeons & Dragons, but this is a cool figure, and there's no denying a cool figure when you see it. That is for sure. Of course, we got Grimsword. I guess his evil partner in crime or something like that. But Grimsword, much bigger, as you can see here, the height differences between these two. Then you got old He-Man, old Prince Adam, He-Man himself. He could be combating him as well as Grimsword. Who knows? But this kind of works for this as well with the Masterverse. Looks okay to me at the end of the day. Have to grab the Mythic Legions out. You guys know I love this big old guy. The old Berserker, as I call him. How cool is that? Kind of fits in that whole Mythic Legions world. I think you can easily put him in there if you need to. There's no problem with that. And heck, you could have him with the hardest working alien in show business. You could have him with Alf. Maybe Alf and Warduke could be a team. The Dream Team. They could write their own comedy series. It just writes itself really at this point. Maybe I'll work on the screenplay later today. We'll see if that happens. But not bad. I don't know anything, like I said, and I keep saying about Dungeons & Dragons. I'm interested to see what the future holds for this line. Are they going to make more figures than this? What else could they make? I'm sure there's some giants. There's probably trolls. There's probably little people. There's probably like heroes and princes and princesses and all kinds of stuff in the Dungeons & Dragons world. I imagine it to be kind of like Lord of the Rings, and I'm probably totally off from that. But it'll be interesting to see what else they come with. I'm interested to see why the Hasbro line doesn't have these guys, or if they will, and vice versa. If we're going to get Uni the Unicorn, that's one that stands out there. And what's that little guy's name? I don't know, Hank or Henry or something like that. Would we get those from NECA too? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but like I said, I like the looks of these figures. They were worth the purchase to me to mix up with my Mythic Legions. That's probably where I'm going to end up putting them. But they're very, very cool figures. There's no denying that. I do like them, and especially when I got this one $5 cheaper, I'll do that all day long. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? You picking these guys up? You passing? You playing the long game? Are you an expert in Dungeons & Dragons? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you've never heard Gygax, man, check them out. One of my favorite bands going today. I hope they do get some new material. They've been pretty quiet since COVID, gone from social media. I gotta assume they've broken up. I hope that isn't the case. Eric Harris, if you're out there, get some new music for us. We need it. But there it is, little Dungeons & Dragons NECA Ultimate Edition Warduke unboxing and review. Don't forget to like this video, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. Check out the Patreon for early access to videos like this and a whole lot more. Best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for all the dice rollers and rock and rollers out there, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.